Hi everybody, Shelly here. Today I want to share with you what I believe are 3 essential art supplies. Yeah, the 3 that you must have. So I'm going to tell you the first one, can't live without it, is the comber brush. See, can you see that? So it has really cool brush, you know, the way the hairs are placed, they're kind of spread out like little comber, like the kind of comb you would comb your hair with. And what I love about these so much, I have them in all different sizes. When you lay down a paint stroke, they kind of interlap. The paint strokes do, one over the other, so that you end up with a more painterly feel. It really kind of forces you to paint more loosely, but at the same time, the more brush strokes that you put over one another, the more it's going to tighten up and become more realistic looking. So it's really up to you and what your style is and how many, brush strokes you want to lay down to get the effect you're going for. But it's a great way to not, kind of forces you to not blend. You don't need to blend because the strokes are just kind of, perfectly intertwining with each other. So that's why I love the comber brushes so much. And you can use them perfectly. You got the tiny ones. I mean, look how, let's see if I can get that in a white area. Look how splayed out the tip is. It's just really a cool brush. I use them a ton. So that was the comber brushes. So let me tell you the next tool. It is my absolute must-have. Like, I can't imagine painting without it. I have painted without it, but it is certainly nice to have it. It is my, which way? Proportion tool. So if you don't know what a proportion tool is, it's this little guy here. Let's see if you can get that in camera. Okay. So this can be used along with a grid. It can be used just with, say you have a photo reference of a face and you want to paint the exact same size portrait on a canvas as your photo reference. Then you're going to use what is my favorite, one-to-one measuring. So for instance, you're going to see how wide, say, an eye is. You're going to measure that on your reference, and then you're going to measure it on your canvas, and that's going to give you the width of an eye. Same thing, you can find all of the lengths and widths of features with this proportion tool. I used it to work my way through this guy. I started with an eye, and I just built out from there, but I measured a lot using this proportion tool. Now, you can use it. There's a smaller end here, and this little slider will go into these holes, and you can actually use it to scale up or scale down. I don't like doing that. There's a little bit of math involved. So I stick with the one-to-one. It's just easier, but if you needed help in scaling up or down, you can do that as well. I've used it with photo references. I've used it with live models, and you're holding out your arm straight and you're using it to see where the top of the head is and the chin, and then you're bringing it over to your palette and your canvas, and you're marking the top of the head, you're marking the bottom of the chin. So these proportion tools are really super duper handy. They're very precise. I know you can take the end of a paintbrush and you can hold your thumb and you can measure things that way, but I just love the precision of this tool. I know exactly, and it stays. Once I have it measured, I can move it around, I can manipulate it, I can hold it with my other hand, and I know that I'm not going to lose my measurement. So the proportion tool is a must-have. I have some videos on how to use the proportion tool more specifically. If you need some information on how to use that guy, you can check those out. All right, so the third essential must-have art supply a neutral gray paint palette. So let me show you mine. I'm using it to work on this guy behind me. So it's just a simple piece of glass. It's not too thick. You can see there how thin it is. And I took a spray can of paint that I estimated to be about a value level 5, and I just sprayed it all over the back. It's pretty durable. It hasn't scratched off too much, a little bit on the edges from wear and tear, but for the most part, it's been pretty durable. It's glass, so it scrapes off. You can use a scraper if paint is dry. I have it sitting on a music stand, but you could also just put it on a table next to your canvas and use it flat. But the neutral gray color, being that it's the middle value, value 5, helps you understand the values of your colors, and that's essential in painting. So for instance, this dark, it's a transparent oxide brown I have here, you can tell that that is darker than the gray that's on there. So I know right away that this is going to be a dark value, a value 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that world. And so when I have paint on this gray palette, that if you squint at it, or if you take a picture of it with your iPhone and you put it into the black and white and it disappears, then you know it's somewhere in the middle value. And also if you have paint on here that's much lighter than this gray background, then you know that's your light values. So it really helps you to organize the values of colors, because sometimes colors can trick our eye and we won't understand what the values are. So this neutral gray, you know, underneath the colors can be helpful in that way. And sometimes I'll just squint at it, but like I said, taking a picture of it with your iPhone is super helpful. Just turn it into black and white. All right, I have a bonus tip for you. Oil primer. And that's only going to be good if you're an oil painter. So if you are painting with acrylics or watercolors, you cannot paint watercolor or acrylic on top of oil primed canvas. So if you're an oil painter, the beauty of that is, you can maybe see that here, the red is not oil primed. You can see there's a lot of texture there. The cheap white canvas, you can see this is just a store-bought, simple, it was gesso primed, just like same canvas over here, but then I put 2 layers of oil primer on this canvas. In between the layers, I let it dry, I sand it down a little bit, but this just makes it such a pleasure. I love a smooth painting surface, and this surface is seriously smooth once the oil primer is dry and you're ready to go. It is my favorite thing, because these little inexpensive canvases, they're great. You can get them for really cheap, and then you just pop on some oil primer and then you have a beautiful paint surface. And if you like a texture surface, then you might not want to try the oil primer, but if you're like me, you don't want to fight against the weave of the canvas, then I would say definitely grab an oil primer. Sometimes it's called oil ground, and the one I use is typically by Gamblin. So that is what that looks like. All right, so those are my 3 essential art supplies, plus a bonus tip if you're an oil painter. Hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you guys in the next one.